welcome to Osseo High School. A spot in the state class 3A volleyball tournament's on the line tonight. It's the Section 5 championship. The number 2 seed, St. Michael Albertville, and the number 1 seed, Wayzata. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Andy Gugesberg. And Andy, both teams got a major challenge in the semifinals. Slow starts for each of them. Osseo giving Wayzata all they could handle before falling in 4, and St. Michael Albertville held an even tougher one. Champlain Park won the first 2 sets before the Knights came back to win it in 5.
Yeah, both these matches in the semifinals, you know, come out strong, come out strong. That's what you always preach to your teams in the pregame, but both teams came out slow but ended up winning the right sets down the stretch and meet here tonight in the section final.
They played a couple times during the regular season. The first time STMA jumped on Wayzata early and actually won the first couple sets. Trojans came back to win in 5, and then in tournament play, the Wayzata also got a victory there. But close matches, they've both been strong all year. They've both really been tested, so it's kind of come down to who really does the things that they need to do tonight, more so than what they've done all year long.
Absolutely. The old adage of it's hard to beat a team 3 times. I know Scott Jackson's been preaching that to his kids ever since the big win a couple days ago. Now they need to reset. They need to make sure they win the serve and pass battle. I think offensively they've got more weapons and more options than St. Michael does, so I like their chances there. But just like we saw on Tuesday, they're capable of giving up a few runs, and if their hitters get going, St. Michael's hitters get going, we could be in for another long night tonight.
Let's talk about key players to watch in this one. We're going to go with the big hitters for both teams. Michaela Henderson, not as big as the Wayzata hitters, but she's explosive and has had a great year for the Knights.
Absolutely. She hits the ball with pace. She hits it cross and crosser. She'll take a ball line if you make her, but she loves going into the 5 and seeing if your libero is good enough to handle it. Look for her to just go off tonight, and if the block takes it away, she can chip off the block as well. She's a very dynamic, intelligent attacker.
And for Wayzata, they're a team that attacks from the right side more than maybe a lot of teams do, and they've got Elizabeth Helmick's just had a fantastic season for them.
Fantastic season, fantastic career. Helmick's been doing it all. 6 rotation right side doesn't happen very much, but Scott Jackson can't afford to take this girl off the court. She's so good, not just with her attack and with her block. Her first touch is good if they put her in serve receive. She digs well, and not only that, she is a court leader. Girls look to her when things get tough, and she's able to calm them down and take over when needed.
Both of these programs have some good history, some good state tournament history, but it's been a while for both of them too. So the current players haven't had that taste of getting to the XL Center, so extra incentive, I think, for both of them tonight.
Absolutely. I know I was listening to some friends of mine talk about Wayzata and the season they're having, and they're like, yeah, a program that just doesn't have much history. And I was like, well, you haven't been paying attention to volleyball for very long. There's a long, storied history of Wayzata getting to the state tournament and doing quite well, and Scott Jackson wants to get his team back there again tonight.
All right, should be a good matchup here. The winner goes to state. It's St. Michael Albertville and Wayzata. The Section 5 Volleyball Championship is next on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Welcome back here to Osseo as the crowd meeting the 2 teams here this evening. And as we said, it was not an easy time of things to get to this match. Highlights from the Osseo Wayzata match, which was the first semifinal. An ace serve there for the Orioles, and you could see how pumped up they were. But Caitlin Emke helping Wayzata get things going, and then Helmick delivering a big hammer. The 3rd and 4th set, they didn't have a whole lot of trouble, but the first 2 were real difficult ones. They were fortunate to come back and win 28-26 in the second to win it 3-1, and then an even closer one, if you can believe it, in the second semifinal of Champlain Park, St. Michael Albertville. Rebels could do no wrong early, especially in the first set. St. Michael just was very slow to get started, to get into their their game and lost 25-10 in that opening set. And there was a controversial one. Champlain Park would have won the match had that ball been called out and stuck with an out call instead. The Knights rallied back, and they are able to get the big block and win it 15-10 in the 5th set. So an impressive showing for them to come back, never giving up and fighting back and getting to this spot in the championship matchup.
Should be a good one tonight. Both teams playing some of their best volleyball here late. The crowd is filling in quite nicely. I was expecting more Halloween costumes. I remember doing one of these matches a couple years ago, and everybody was in costume. Looks like it's Jersey Day for St. Michael and a blackout for Wayzata. Starting lineup for Tammy Cornelius and the St. Michael Albertville Knights. They've got Sophie Fritz setting. You see Samantha Palmer, Michaela Henderson, G.K. Lamond, Emma Van Heel, and then Christosek, Fritz, and the libero is Megan Kruschke. And for Wayzata and Scott Jackson, same lineup that they used in the semifinal victory over Osseo, is Long, Jesuits, Long, Emke. And we'll get you the rest of theirs in a moment as we are underway. Wayzata is in white, St. Michael in yellow here. And that cross-court hit is going to be wide of the mark off the hand of Samantha Palmer, and it's 1-0 Trojans. Early jitters there, nice swing into the cross-court, just missing wide, and it's an early lead. We'll take a look at the rest of the starters here, I believe.
See Helmick. Olivia Johnson said, I think kind of an underrated season as a setter. She's good.
Does some really nice things, putting her hitters in position to score.
Emke with the swing there. Knights coming back outside, and it will land out off the block, so score the point for STMA. And back to serve here is Palmer. Jesuits getting it to Johnson and back to Jesuits. Just too long with that one. Right idea in terms of where to place that one, but just didn't quite hit the line.
Yeah, Jesuits was hot and cold in the semifinals. She'll need to get going early here. They go at her again.
Yeah, they've been serving at her. Gets it back here, and Knights get into their attack middle, and that one was off the tape, not blocked as G.K. Lamond's not able to deliver there for St. Michael Albertville, and we'll have Ella Vogel, a sophomore, to serve here for Wayzata. They're really primarily a senior team. A couple of subs, Revere and Vogel, or Vogel is the libero, will play a lot, but a lot of seniors in this lineup. Tip goes wide of the mark. Trojans score to go up 3-2 as Henderson looked down the line with that one.
Henderson, not used to seeing a block of that size, has used the block once and decides to try and tip around it unsuccessfully there.
A little late decision there, but handled. And St. Michael Albertville coming back strong.
There we see Henderson going cross court around the block, catching a good swing on that one out of system. Really does a nice job.
Kruschke to serve here for the Knights, and she'll miss with that one.
Yeah, it's going to be a heavy dose of Jesuits. If she passes well, Wayzata's going to roll. If she struggles, St. Michael's going to be in this thing.
Helmick to serve here for the Trojans, leading it 4-3. To the outside for Henderson, and denied, and Wayzata scoring it. A little different gym feel here. I think Osseo's a little more compact gym than what the teams played in the other night. I think it definitely makes for a louder possibility of the crowd too.
Good eyes on that block, as I believe that was Long helping out there.
Again, a tough serve puts the Knights in a little bit of a tough spot, and Henderson too long with that one. 6-3 Trojans. You kind of expected both teams maybe would come out a little bit sharper. They sort of got that first tough test out of the way the other night, maybe some jitters out of the way.
Finding 30 on good ball.
Helmick, the serve again, and that one is too long. Good watch by Palmer there, and got some help from a teammate, I think, too, to tell her that one was going to be long. That's maybe a tougher skill than what people realize, to be sure on a ball like that. You know, you don't want to watch it hit the floor. Sin Henderson the serve here. Johnson, about all she could do with that one. And that one will be good, as Wayzata not able to get back to it. Kristosik.
St. Michael imploring, using the 6-2 here. They have the setter right side double sub, and off the bench and good into the deep corner is Kristosik.
Sin Henderson to serve again here. Her team now to within a point at 6-5. Johnson coming to Emlong. That one's dug up by Henderson. Kristosik missing as she tried to go cut that one down the line.
Good swing opportunity there again for Kristosik, and just misses that line.
Jesuits to serve. Her team up 7-5. Henderson to Henderson, tipped around the block. Vogel got there though. Kristosik, another swing. Vogel digs it. The tip to the outside will drop in as Van Heel read the court well, and Vogel just not quite able to get there. She had two nice digs already on that point. Couldn't make a third.
Really nice job there, staying into the play, and then we see good vision. Looked like she was going to tip over the block, and she ends up going around it.
Helmick just barely fought that one off, and then Vogel helped her out, but a free ball chance here for the Knights. And they work the slide to Van Heel, and she's able to put it away, and we're even up at 7.
Van Heel imploring that slide attack that we saw Emlong execute so well in the semifinal. Van Heel's definitely knows how to get off one foot.
So Michaela Henderson to serve now, looking for the lead for the Knights. Jesuits hitting from the back. Henderson a nice dig. Now Johnson to Emlong on the slide. That one dug up. Can they stay with it? Yes. And then at the last moment, Krushke has to come get it. Johnson for Long, and she puts it away. Good adjustment by Long. She had to wait on that ball a little bit, but still really hit her spot.
Yeah, it's a really nice swing by Kate Long. We'll get a good look at this. That ball's too far off the net from where she wants it. She stutters on 2, finishes 3-4, right into the 6, which is wide open. Really good looking swing for her out of system.
Here's one of those sophomores I talked about, Katie Revere, the left-hander into serve here for Wayzata. And a good serve. And that one will be sprayed far too long by Palmer. Trojans serve pretty well most nights. I didn't think they were quite as sharp maybe in that regard on Tuesday, but you know, usually are going to at the very least be consistent and make teams work. Well, just as I say that one was not close from Revere.
She does a nice job most of the time making teams uncomfortable. Just misses that, going 5-5. It's a good look, just not able to execute the serve in this opportunity.
Van Heel to serve with her team down by a point. And just barely out. I thought that might have been a gamble not worth taking there, but it landed long as Jesuits got a good word from a teammate there to let that one go.
Yeah, bench doing a really nice job communicating on both sides here. Helps to have that 7th man, as it were.
Michaela Henderson tipping there. Johnson for Emke had that one blocked. And now Helmick getting a swing. Come to the outside and cross court there for Palmer, dug up. Jesuits rolling that one, and an overpass. Long got a swing, but the Knights able to react to it. Jesuits digging that one, and there's a chance, but not put away as Helmick read it. And then eventually, though, it leads to a point for the Knights, and they're back to within 1.
Yeah, there's no secrets involved in tonight's match. If they're in trouble, Michaela Henderson will get the ball for St. Michael out of the backcourt there, causing some confusion and leading to an eventual point.
Sophie Fritz serving here for St. Michael Albertville. Here's Helmick using the block there, and it's wide.
And if St. Michael doesn't have any tricks. Neither does Wayzata, really. They're going to get a heavy dose of Helmick coming at them with that strong left hand. She does a nice job from the left side. Normally a tough spot for a lefty to take a swing from.
Avery Seas serving here for the Trojans. And put away for STMA by GK Lamons.
GK a little undersized, but she does a nice job of sneaking that ball through the block. Nice swing from her.
Palmer's serve is out. There's always that fine line, you know, you want your every serve to be tough and you want to hit lines and things like that, but you know, you've got to be a little careful to first and foremost just make sure it's in play too.
Absolutely, you want to make sure they're putting pressure on them. You can't give them a free ball, but at the same point, at least make them think about a couple things.
Right side they come with that one for Olivia Carroll, who's come off the bench and delivers quickly for STMA. They are within a point.
Yeah, Carroll does a really nice job. She gets a lot of attention here. We'll take a look at this swing again. She goes in between Emlong and Jesuits.
And that serve looked like it might have been heading out, but this time Jesuits played it. Now she'll get a swing. Here's Michaela Henderson, too long with that one. Point for the Trojans.
Henderson struggling finding the court here early. That's 3 or 4 attacking errors for her. Need her to definitely get her feet to the ball a little bit better. It's a big block. Like I said before, she's not quite used to it, but she's got to get her feet there and work around it.
Might be a little extra adrenaline, I think, in a match like this, don't you?
Absolutely true. Absolutely.
Helmick with a serving error there for the Trojans. And so we've stayed kind of bouncing back and forth between 2 points, 1 point lead, a couple ties, and we kind of expect it that way. You know, this rivalry, I think, is certainly going to grow, too, with STMA now joining the Lake Conference. So they'll be playing, you know, multiple times every year, probably, the way things look. And obviously they've got a school, athletic-wise, that's growing and really become a strong program. When you talk about good athletic programs, you kind of have to include St. Michael Albertville now, and Wayzata's already kind of been in that boat for the last 15 years or more.
Yes, Wayzata the only program that's real excited that they're in there from a travel standpoint. Everybody else has a long drive to get to St. Michael and Buffalo, but Wayzata St. Michael is going to be a rivalry in a lot of sports. As we see a huge block there, Jesuits and Emlong closing in the middle. Back out front, 14-13. Take a look here. Good hands on pass, hands go up, and then it's just a quick press across for the lead.
Jesuits serving here, her team up by 1.
Stay wide.
Here's Michaela Henderson, block out up late, but Vogel covers for him. And Long will put it away for the Trojans.
Long had a really nice semifinal match. We haven't called her name yet here, but that's a really nice swing to get her going. Long, definitely a counterbalance to Jesuits. She's a smaller athlete, definitely hits with more pop though.
2 point lead now. Jesuits will deliver an ace there. Palmer lunging for it. She's got that, she's so tall and good extension. I mean, she's serving it.
Yeah, it's
a tough spot.
A lot of times teams will have a jump float server just so they can change their trajectory. Jesuits with a standing float, she might be serving this thing flat to down. Very tough to play, and it's another ace for the junior.
See if STMA is thinking timeout here as Tammy Cornelius getting back. Nice to catch up with her a little bit. Of course, she's part of the big Pinata volleyball family. I've seen a lot of them over here tonight. She and her older sister started their careers at Wayzata, and she finished at Armstrong High School after they moved, and then the younger sisters and brothers, for that matter, all went to Armstrong.
Yeah, Marcy would be here tonight, but she's in the middle of a battle. Her St. Cloud State Husky team playing UMD. Last check, they were up 1-0. Ooh, Ben's going to let them play.
Nice dig there by Michaela Henderson. Ultimately led to ball delivered off the block. Get another look as Long got a swing, and nice job to dig that one, and then Palmer puts it away. Here's Long, and she will deliver. Got up quick. The block hadn't closed yet. And Long able to put it home for an 18-15 Wayzata lead.
Yeah, Long's getting that ball off the net, and I think the block's actually on its way down. Tammy might want to delay that block a little bit when they set the ball that far off the net.
Across for Palmer. Revere able to get there to dig it. Now Long with a roll shot. Jesuits, a nice dig for Wayzata. Ball is maybe going to be out, but no chances taken. And now Henderson too strong with that one.
Henderson looking to end the rally. She does. Unfortunately, it's a point for Wayzata. That's the type of swing you want from a senior in these situations. Yeah, we want her to finish and put that ball in play, but you're not going to take anything off it at this point.
And then Revere too strong with the serve. So it's back to a 3-point score here as the Knights get the side out. And subbing in for them will be Paige Holm, number 23, to serve here for STMA. They're going to need to put together a little run here. They can't keep trading points when they're down 3 like this. Overpass there, but Johnson did pretty good work with it. Johnson coming to Long, left side, blocked back. They'll come right back to her. Dug up there by Sin Henderson. And a roll attempt there by Palmer. Looked like she kind of got distracted by a teammate as they about collided there.
Yeah, I don't think she thought that ball was coming to her. She was looking for a teammate to take the swing. Late touch, and she doesn't get it across the net.
Johnson the serve here for the Trojans. Vogel just fighting that one off. And then put away in the middle for the Knights by Lamont. So 20-17. Just when it starts to feel like they're falling out of it, they seem to be able to get a crucial point, but again, can't afford to trade.
Side-out volleyball not going to be enough for the Knights down the stretch here. Sophie Fritz going to need to go on a run.
And does not do it as it's too long, and Wayzata to 21 now at 21-17. Seas will come in to serve. Seas was very consistent serving, not just the other night, but the other times I've seen them too. Not necessarily going to get you a ton of aces, although that one is, but almost always is accurate with putting the ball where she wants to. And obviously that's the reason they're using her in that spot. 5-point lead, Wayzata, timeout, St. Michael, Albertville.
Yeah, St. Michael kind of in a stretch, a tough position right now. They're going to need to get out of this rotation quickly. I think they have Carol in the front row. If they can get her the ball, they'll get out of this with a quick side out. Tammy Cornelius in her first season, not bad getting to the section final as a rookie coach, but as we talked about briefly earlier, the family knows a lot about volleyball and she's passionate. She's been involved in this program for years now as a youth coach, as a assistant coach, taking over the helm this year, and knows all these kids from her time helping them through the youth program and such. What she's done with this group and talking with her, she came to the Blaine tournament, which of course my wife is the head coach there, so I was able to get some time to chat with her, and she's just passionate about not just the game of volleyball, but using it as a tool for these young women to express themselves and become leaders and become great human beings able to help out off the court as well. Just somebody that the volleyball community is grateful to have involved.
Seas will serve again here out of the timeout for the Trojans. Roll to the middle, and that one will drop in as Wayzata a little slow to react. Carol, the shot was well placed, but not necessarily anything special, but Wayzata didn't get over.
Yeah, Carol not one to take off speed very often, so catching the Trojans on their heels.
Palmer the serve. You come right side to Helmick, and that one is denied. Henderson, maybe that'll get her going as she's had a little bit of struggles offensively tonight, but gets it done as a blocker here.
That's a one-on-one as Lamont had no idea where that ball was going. Henderson got all of it, big block.
Johnson will come right back to Helmick and wasn't bothered by getting the previous one blocked. He just went back to her normal swing, puts it away, 23-19.
Great hitter. If she's not an all-state selection, I'll be really confused. Does a really nice job responding after the block, using the block this time.
Vogel to serve for the Trojans. Come to the right side. Jesuits, good reaction to get back to it, and now puts it away. Boy, the swing was nice, but just her reaction after that ball went off her as a blocker was what really saved that point.
Yeah, good touch, good recognition of where the ball is. Then takes a crow hop approach, no real transition, and able to put that ball down for a point.
Set point chance here. Vogel to serve. Long run to get to it, and Henderson has it denied by Emlong, and Wayzata puts set number 1 in the books as they win it 25-19. And a much better start for them, obviously, than they had the other night. And St. Michael hoping that they can kind of get some magic built back after their slow start in the semifinals as well.
Yeah, good start to the match for Wayzata. Trojans firing on all cylinders. Helmick definitely taking some big swings there. Does a really nice job here. We'll take a look at this close. Her and Emlong just press well, and that's a wall that's hard to get past. Take another quick look here. It's not just the fact that they're across. You see Helmick drop her hands back inside so she can't get tooled in that spot. Really nice block, really good vision. Nice start for the Trojans.
So Wayzata leads 1-0. We'll be back with set 2 here in the Section 5 3A Championship on CCX Sports.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Wayzata winning the first set 25-19 here over St. Michael Albertville, and we see the top 2 seeds did reach the final here in this section. Really, when you go by the numbers, not really upsets to speak of, but see Wayzata easily beating Coon Rapids in the first round, Osseo over Maple Grove, and then Wayzata. That 3-1 kind of feels like it was tougher than what maybe that ends up looking like, and then STMA, after beating Buffalo in a sweep, had that 5-set thriller against Champlin Park, the defending section champion, defending state champion. And so obviously you're going to have a new champ in the section and a new champ in the state tournament this year.
Yeah, and Wayzata definitely looking like the favorite to get out of this section and probably get into a 2 seed. Throughout the season, they've got a couple of losses, one of those, or 2 of those, to Northfield, who is the number 1 seed, number 2 team in the state, but Northfield lost to the 5 seed in their section, so it could be Egan is looking like they're coming out and they'll be 1, and Wayzata should be 2 should they win this and make their way to the state tournament.
There is Scott Jackson, and I was asking him about seeding for the state tournament. He said, well, I got an email, but I didn't bother to look yet because obviously we got to get through here tonight and worry about any of that kind of stuff later on.
One step at a time.
He did say, you know, he admitted it's a little bit of a different feeling compared to coming into the final last year. That Champlin Park team was so loaded. He said, you know, everything would have to go right for us to win. And he said, well, tonight, we feel, like if we play our best match, we do have a very good chance to win. But they know that they do have to do that because St. Michael's saying the same thing. They're equally talented club. Vogel with the dig there. Here's Helmick off the block. Oh, great dig. Kept alive both sides. Some great D, but then put away as the Trojans stuck with it. I thought that ball was going to be down, and Carroll was able to get it for the Knights.
First Vogel with the layout, then Carroll with the layout. Great defensive effort. If you came back late, that's on you. Great defense to start set 2.
And Emke then putting it away, and that serve was just too long. Good eyes by the Knights, and their bench also helping out there. So Palmer will serve for St. Michael Albertville, and a 1-1 tie here in set number 2. Johnson will give it back to Helmick. Oh, and we had a net violation against the Knights, so it looked like they were going to get the point, but Lamond's into the net as she made her approach there.
Yeah, good looking swing. I like to see her unload on that ball, but she just got a little tight and didn't finish her shoulder. Ends up swinging through.
Sees with the serve. Overpass here. And another opportunity. Great dig by Palmer. Here's Henderson. Strong block put up there, and we have a net violation against Wayzata. This time we're actually a back row attack.
6 of one, half a dozen the other. Johnson goes up as a back row setter. Probably caught the net as well, but when she sends that ball over, it kills the play as a back row attacker.
Kreschke the serve. Johnson coming to Helmick, and no dice as Van Heel was there.
That's a commit block because that's fast. They bail early. It must be something in the scouting report that on perfect pass, they go to Helmick quick there. Really nice block.
Helmick again, this time off the block, and they cannot make the dig off the cross-court deflection, so Trojans get the point, 3-3. Vogel will serve.
Reminds me of, in coaching high school athletes, they always want to go fast. They want to go fast. Hey, just hang a ball up there and let your big kid go get it and abuse a block, hit over a block, hit through a block.
Chip deep there, C's getting to it. Now Jesuits has that one denied. Vogel ran into a teammate but still made the play. Fritz giving it back and hammered home there by Carroll. Fritz did a nice job. She's not the biggest setter around, and a couple of those balls were pretty tight to the net.
Does a really nice job getting up, staying active. Nice get.
So Sin Henderson will serve here. The Knights up by a point. Chased down by Jesuits, and they will get it over. Henderson coming to Michaela Henderson with the roll. Johnson gets there. Now Helmick. Little setter dump there, but it's returned. Johnson for Emlong. Dug up there by Kostosic. And now we get double contact call there against the Knights, so even up at 4.
Good long rally, just not able to get her feet there was Henderson, and mishandle is the call.
Let's go, E!
Scott Jackson wanting to make sure he had the correct server. Gently asked R2 if he could get a lineup check. R2 with the noise in here didn't hear it. Scott getting a little animated and immediately apologizing for his frustration. Now we have a rotation fault on STMA. I think the setter left early. Look to be clean now.
5-4 lead for Wayzata as Helmick serving. Henderson coming outside on the slide there to Van Heel. Now the other way, Emlong. And a little joust at the net, and Johnson will win it for Wayzata. Not the cleanest point around, but they'll take it.
Yeah, when you can run slide to slide, as we saw Van Heel hit the slide, they run M long behind on the same play going the other way. It's going to end up going to that team that can execute the second.
Helmick, a bullet serve there, and that pass will be into the Knights bench as Krushke couldn't quite get underneath it and control it. And it's 7-4 Wayzata.
Going to run a stack here. Nope. Oh. Looks like we're going to have a setter switch on the fly here just to get a different look from STMA.
Henderson struggling to control that one. They will play a free ball over. Johnson for Jesuits. Whew. That one eating Krushke up.
A little bit of chaos and confusion here. Somehow a solo block on Jesuits, and Krushke not okay with having to wear that one alone.
And that serve is too strong. Helmick was trying to be aggressive really and serve it hard again at Krushke, but got too much on it. Michaela Henderson with the serve now for the Knights. Back for Jesuits, and she'll put it away. Nice. Started with a nice pass by her. She, again, the other night we said had a little bit of trouble on serve receive, but has looked smoother and kind of back to herself tonight. And that serve will be too strong. We've seen quite a few serves long by both teams here this evening, and again, I think that has something to do with being fired up and just being a little over-eager.
Yeah, Rudy's excited, wants to be a part of a point-scoring opportunity. I like the fact that they're going for it. They need to make sure that they take a deep breath, put themselves in a calm position before they serve this thing.
Home to serve now for the Knights. Johnson coming to long, and that's off hands, and good for a point for the Trojans as they build a 10-6 lead.
Long has been flawless here. She's doing a really nice job attacking the block, abusing the block, and scoring at will.
I always think that when I watch her. If you're another team, you see them in a tournament or whatever, it's probably not the first player that wows you on their team, but if you watch them enough, she's just consistently very good.
Yeah, you're never gonna scout to stop her, but when you don't, she's going to beat you. Excited subs, and they got to come back and do it again. Always a little bit of a delay.
Fritz will serve here for the Knights, trailing it by 3. They lost the first set. Johnson over to Long, and she'll score another kill.
Long's number being called repeatedly. It's almost, you can't leave her alone, but you also have to respect everybody else that they've got on the roster.
Michaela Henderson, good down ball there. Vogel, though, gets to it. Long is too long with that one. We talked her up enough that kind of figured that was going to happen.
She was due eventually, right? But that's, again, out of system ball. She's looking for hands. Just missed. It's a good-looking swing.
Palmer, the serve here for STMA. Gonna come right side for Long, and she'll put it away.
I don't remember her getting stopped on that swing on Tuesday either. That's another big swing from Long and another kill.
Avery Sees now into serve here for the Trojans. Ooh, that ball was close to being out, but they'll take it. Here's Michaela Henderson delivering. You can see why she had well over 300 kills with that swing.
Yeah, she does a really nice job here. 6 is open. She takes it there. Sees, we don't see it there, but Sees kind of olayed that ball instead of stepping into it. Tried to play it outside her body line.
Krushke the serve. Vogel a good pass to Johnson, and now Helmick able to deliver. Deep corner.
Helmick in rhythm has been almost unstoppable. They did stuff her that one time where they knew it was coming, but if the setter has a little bit of hold in her set, she's able to get a one-on-one, and Helmick will score all the time.
Vogel, a tough serve there, but then put away by Carroll. Carroll's made a pretty big difference for this team. She's come up with some big points.
Yeah, not flashy, doesn't go up and just unload on balls. Does a really nice job, just a good heavy topspin as she swings, and we see her with another kill there.
Sin Henderson will serve here for the Knights. They trail it by 3. Jesuits getting it back, and we had a net violation there, I think. Or no, it was outside the antenna.
Yeah, Jesuits looking for it, and the 7th man gets her as that ball into the antenna.
Johnson will come back for Jesuits, tipping there and swatted over by Christosik. Helmick pounding it home for the Trojans, 14-11.
Good reverse on that ball as Johnson's moving towards the left side, throws it around the corner. Helmick in system, in rhythm. Nice swing and kill from her.
Henderson had to adjust to that ball and got it in.
Out of system, off speed, really good vision there from the senior outside hitter as she's able to find the floor. We'll take a look here. I think she wanted something quicker and inside. It got pushed to the pin, and she does everything she can with it there.
Johnson does a nice job on a ball tight to the net. And then hammered home by Palmer.
Palmer finding the elbow of Johnson there. Johnson, that's a really nice leap for her. She gets up well, gets across well, but score the point for the Knights.
Kayla Henderson a chance to tie us up. Here's Emlong putting it away. Wayzata always seems to have an answer for the little runs that STMA's making.
Emlong kind of on a hitch slide that time. It's not as fast as they've been running it, but she's able to slow down and take a secondary approach here. We'll take a look. Kind of the hiccup and falls off the ball at the end there, able to finish her swing.
Jesuits the serve, and it's a good one. Knights able to scramble and get it over. Here's Long. Oh, a great dig there by Henderson.
Henderson digging on the open net, does a really nice job with the mishandle to end the point. 16-13, Wayzata up here in 2. Let's take another look. That's a big hole in the block. Henderson reads it well. Good idea there by Palmer to try and set it back into the right side, but the double contact and a timeout for St. Michael. Scott Jackson real excited about the way his team is playing right now. More emotional this year than I've seen in years past from him. He's very excited about what this team's capable of. Not getting blinded by the XL Energy Center yet, but you can tell he sees this team's potential to get there. They're doing a really nice job here in system most of the time, and even when they're out of system, taking some pretty healthy cuts. St. Michael on the other side, some uncharacteristic errors, and I don't know if it's a true read block they're trying to run or if they're in some sort of a commit situation here, but there's a lot of big holes in the block leading to some defensive effort needed from St. Michael. We'll see off the timeout if they make some adjustments here. We're looking for 3 clean contacts. As we take a look, Scott Jackson just loose and calm with his kids right now. Not what we saw down 18-10 in set 2 on Tuesday. He was heated at that moment, and I think I talked to him after the match, and he said, I said, what did you say in that timeout? He said, I just told him it's not our set to win anymore. Can we just play relaxed and have a little fun out there? And a lot of fun was had as they were able to come back and win that 28-26.
Yeah, you don't at that point really truly expect to still win it, but they were able to somehow do it. Oh, and the tip attempt falling short there. It was, wanted the real off speed to catch him, but instead it falls too short and into the net.
Yeah, it's the right idea there. Vogel was deep on defense, which means the tip over the block would have scored, but unfortunately execution was a little lacking there.
Next serve, though, too long, and it'll be 17-14. Holm in to serve now for the Knights. Johnson coming to long and puts another one away for the Trojans. They are up by 4.
The block is just early for St. Michael here. We'll get a really good look. They're up, they're down, and then they're touching, and then she's touching the ball. Henderson kind of in a bad space there trying to dig that ball.
Set it back for Michaela Henderson, and that'll work.
Henderson out of the back row there, takes it into the 5. It's very interesting. Normally they would attack out of the back row and go at the setter or at the right back defender. But Henderson seems to be almost exclusively attacking into the 5, which is where Vogel is, and that time she's not able to dig it.
Fritz, the serve now for the Knights. Again down by 3. Ooh, and it's a good serve. Jesuits just barely got there. Henderson fights that one off. Now Palmer a swing. Vogel gets there. Here's Long. Off the block and out. 19-15 Trojans.
It's got to be frustrating if you're the St. Michael block. You got her lined up. You know where it's going. She's just so good at finding the edge of the block there.
Olivia Johnson the serve. Palmer reaching back for it. Now they're going to come back out to the hot hand Long, and that one is blocked into an open court. As Lamont's getting most of that one, and it's 19-16, and the Knights get a much needed side out there.
Finally turns it back in and down for a point. Like to see Emke get involved here. We haven't called her name yet.
Palmer the serve. Ooh, and Helmet didn't pass that ball cleanly at all. 19-17.
Scott Jackson going to wait for a tie ball game before he calls one here. They get this one, I'd get off my chair and make a adjustment at minimum, if not call a timeout.
Johnson will give it back for Helmick, but too long, and we're 1 point score now here in the second as the Knights have ripped off 3 in a row. And now there is the timeout taken by Scott Jackson as the Knights building some momentum here. In a lot of ways, this set has been similar to the first in terms of where we've been score-wise. It's been 2, it's been 3, occasionally down to 1, but pretty much always Wayzata leading.
Mm-hmm. Now we see how they adjust off the timeout. Do they adjust what the serve receive looks like? Do they run a stack? Helmick's been pretty good on the left, but I know she has the 2-ball in her. So maybe they push across and they let Helmet come in and hit a high ball in the middle. You can leave, you can leave Long on the outside in that situation. But they're going to go back to where they've been the whole time here, off this timeout. Going to need a good pass in order to get out of this rotation.
We remind you of our CCX Sports Play of the Week, and it's brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove as 4 plays go up each week, and you, the viewers, get to vote to decide. Go to ccxmedia.org and vote for the CCX Sports Play of the Week, brought to you by Chick-fil-A in Maple Grove. So a 19-18 lead for Wayzata, but 3 in a row for St. Michael Albertville, and they are serving here with Samantha Palmer. Johnson will come right side with it for Long, and off the block and good. And as Andy's pointed out, they just really had trouble figuring out the timing on blocking her.
Yeah, she's a smaller outside, so you think you can go up and press across early, but she hits on the way down, which means your block is definitely on the way down most of the time.
Sees with the serve here. Fritz a long run, but gets to it. Michaela Henderson firing, but Vogel digs it up. And then Jesuits missing cross court with that one, and we're back to a 1-point score.
Jesuits just gives a quick nod to Johnson there. Yeah, I'm good. Give me the ball. Probably going to go to Helmick here if I'm a betting man, though.
Krushke the serve, and it's a good one. It's going to land out as Jesuits' pass wasn't controlled. We're even up at 20.
Race to 5 here in set 2.
Helmick. A nice dig by Fritz. Here's Michaela Henderson off the block, and the Knights have surged into the lead at 21-20.
This is exactly what Scott Jackson wanted to avoid. Henderson getting hot down the stretch, and she just good funnel with the defense. Nice high set out here, and just abusing Helmick's right hand.
Jesuit skips that one off the block, and Wayzata answers right back. We're even at 21. Now it's their student section turn to get pumped up.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Jesuits wanting the ball. If Henderson doesn't get this ball, I'll be confused.
Vogel to serve. Fritz is going to come right side with it. Cross-court attempt, but Carroll not quite able to hit the court. Knights kind of half-heartedly looking for a touch here, but they don't get it. 1 point lead, Wayzata.
Fritz kind of outthinking herself there. Henderson needs this ball, down by 1.
Well, they won't get a chance though. Vogel serve into the net. We're even at 22.
Back and forth battle, seen another tie here at 22s.
Sin Henderson coming back in to serve now for St. Michael Albertville. Right side to Helmick, and she'll score it. Trojans go back in front.
A little bit higher ball. They catch her going on at her peak. Henderson not able to time that out well, and it'll lead to a timeout. Wayzata up by 1 here late in set 2. I don't know if they're go straight commit, but if I'm Wayzata, I plant 4 hands directly in front of Henderson and wait for somebody else to get set. Strong right hand. They've got, Wayzata's got Johnson, the setter, in the front row, so a smaller block, but she has proven herself equal to the task. Henderson knows what she wants to do with this ball. If she gets the high ball she's looking for, she'll try and cut it 4-4. If for some reason the ball gets tight, look for her to try and abuse off the right hand for the quick timeout. Jackson talking to his front row right now, making sure everybody's on board with what's going on. I like the way they set themselves up here during the timeout. Front row in front, back row behind, so Scott knows who he's dealing with and who's going to be where in rotation.
Helmick will serve here with her team up by a point. They lead at 1-0.
The loudest this gym has been all night right now.
They will indeed come to Michaela Henderson. Wayzata was in the net anyway. 23-all.
Great communication from the bench. They saw the 2-ball coming, but Emlong, a little too excited, drops her hands and catches on the way up.
Yeah, there was no miss in that one. The whole net came down about 6 inches. Here's Emlong pounding it home. Wayzata back in front now, 24-23, and a set point chance.
It's exactly what needed to happen there. Emlong feeling a little bummed because she was in the net, giving them 23. Great choice by Johnson going back to her, giving her the opportunity for the kill.
Jesuits will serve. Henderson coming back to Michaela Henderson. Now Jesuits will hit from the back row. Off the block, and the Knights tie it up.
Christosic, really nice swing. Block camped in front of her. She goes off the edge and out of bounds to tie this up at 24. We get to get some free volleyball here late in set 2.
Home will serve for STMA. Johnson to long, and she scores it. 25-24 Trojans.
Weird. Long scored out of serve receive. 25-24. Oh, good libero switch in here.
Revere to serve for Wayzata. Oh, that was close.
Zero oxygen in the building as that ball hit the ground. Quick flag out call. 25-25. Cameraman right there. That ball is in. Ball gets called out. We'll play on.
Fritz will serve here for the Knights, even at 25. Jesuits into the tape, and it's the Knights going in front now, 26-25.
Jackson gonna sit on his timeout here, 26-25.
Set point chance the other way now for St. Michael Albertville as Fritz will serve it. Long delivers again. We're even at 26.
Wayzata needing a three-point run here. They've got Johnson at the service line, Helmick back in the front row. They've got the hitters to do it here. Can double check here. This is the rotation because they still have Michaela Henderson in the back row, does St. Michael.
Carroll chipping. Johnson gets there. Now Helmick cross court with that one. Henderson's pass into the net, and it's a point for Wayzata, 27-26.
Ball handling error is the call there. That's tight.
Johnson the serve. Palmer has it blocked, and Wayzata pulls out a thriller in set two. 28-26 to go up 2-0.
Really nice finish there. Emke with the stuff to finish set two, 28-26. Lots of back and forth volleyball. Good defense on both sides of the net. But at the end, St. Michael had Henderson one rotation away from getting to the front row. We'll take a look at this last block. Really nice finish. The coverage was there, but it's on the floor too fast as Wayzata goes up 2-0 here in the section final.
So the Trojans will look for a sweep. STMA was in this spot the other night, though, and they battled back to win. So this one far from over. Wayzata leading at 2-0 here. We'll be right back with set three. Great close battles in the first two, in particular the second, of course, as both teams had a set point or two, and Wayzata ends up pulling it out 28-26. What are you seeing now if you're Coach Tammy there in the huddle?
You know, we're there. We're right where we need to be. We've got them where we want them. We now know how to pick the lock, especially with Long in the front row. They just got to delay that block a little bit. When they have Helmick up there, they've got to make sure they recognize when to commit and when to bail. I think the service game is going to be the key here in set 3. See if they can limit Wayzata's options by serving tough. The effort needed to play defense at this level, they've got it. The energy, they've got it. They've just got to be able to execute some long rallies and finish some long rallies with a kill rather than a roll shot, which Wayzata can turn into a kill.
And if you're Wayzata, it's no time to let up off the gas. You don't start thinking about the trip to St. Paul until it's really there.
Right. At this point, now we're talking about Michaela Henderson might be playing her last set of volleyball. She could go all world here.
Johnson for Emke, and that one will drop in. A little change of pace there as she just got her hand on it.
Don't know if I think they switched their setter right side combination as Sin Henderson starts to serve. Normally she starts on the bench.
Sees with the serve. Michaela Henderson, a good down ball there, but Sees able to get to it. Helmick rolling it to the middle. Sees a strong pass to Johnson, and now Helmick another opportunity, but it is blocked.
Lamont just blind squirrel throws her hands across, and Helmick finds him, stuff block. Counted as a point for St. Michael. She's real late and just decides, I'm going to throw my hands over and see what happens. Great job by her.
I didn't realize she was quite that far off the net at the first look. Helmick looking cross court and is able to drop it in.
Nice swing from her there as they catch her out of serve receive this time. She goes around that late block and down for a point.
Vogel to serve here for the Trojans, leading it 2-1. And Michaela Henderson delivering for the Knights as that ball was touched.
Vogel, I think, got that right before it got to the floor, touched and off her hands, out of bounds for a point. Jackson didn't see it, wanted an explanation.
I'll send a free ball over here. Ooh, right side with it and put home by Christosik.
Christosik going fast there. Wayzata bench looking for a ball handling call. We haven't got many tonight. I don't think you're going to get one here in 3.
Grushke the serve here for the Knights. Jesuits had a little trouble with it, but Johnson able to do something with it. And then off the block and out. Knights go up 4-2.
Chopping wood right there as STMA chops at the block of Wayzata out of bounds for a point and a 2-point lead.
Johnson for Helmick and able to score it.
I don't know that I've watched a player with as much emotion and intensity as Helmick since Sydney Hilly graduated. She plays with such fire. It's so fun to watch her.
Back out to Jesuits. Dug up there by Krushke. Setter dump from Henderson. Jesuits will get another opportunity here and able to drop it in.
Off-speed kills right there. That ball dropped into the middle of the court. We call it the campfire as all 4 non-blockers for St. Michael took a step and then realized they weren't going to get there.
Helmick looking to give her team the lead at 4-4 right now. And that one will be out as Van Heel had to backpedal and try and control it.
Yeah, I don't think they had an outlet on that ball, so Van Heel coming in to hit a 3-ball, but the bailout set is always going to be high and outside. Nobody there to hit it. She does her best.
Helmick, a bullet there. But Michaela Henderson up quick and decisive and puts it away.
Yeah, they lost her. I don't know how you lose the #1 point scorer on the St. Michael Albertville team, but the block missed her. One coming in late, and one-on-one, Henderson will win that every day.
Fritz, the serve here for the Knights, and missed it.
Good patience there as Helmick does a nice job getting her feet to the line and recognizing that ball's going to be wide.
Jesuits, the serve here for Wayzata. Cross court with it. Long will give it to Johnson, and then out for M. Long, reaching back. Here's Michaela Henderson, and that one denied by Long.
A little bit of chess here as they keep Henderson on the right to get in front of Long, and Long returns the favor. Solo block as M. Long went the other way.
And that one sprayed wide from Van Heel. And a 3-point lead now for Wayzata.
Good route combination as they run Henderson on the 2-ball. They run Van Heel on the slide. Van Heel just misses it though. Oh wow.
Vogel dug that one up. And Long scraping it off the net. Dumped over by Fritz. Here's Long getting an opportunity, and she'll score it again. Scott Jackson roaring up off the bench. He is fired up.
Vogel won't get credit for that point in the stat book, but anybody who watched it knows that that point is twice Vogel's. Great defensive effort on the quick attack and on the setter dump. And now we have another rotation fault on St. Michael. From down 2-4 to up 10-5. Wayzata definitely finding another gear here. Henderson was too far out, and they need to make sure she's inside on the stack here.
Jesuits off the tape for an ace, and you can kind of feel that things going their way when that happens. Timeout, St. Michael Albertville, 11-5 Trojans here in the third.
Yeah, Trojans just running with it right now, and St. Michael, they play emotional all the time. Unfortunately, if you play on emotion and things aren't going your way, it's real hard to get going. As we see Henderson, a little bit of frustration right now, both her and Palmer running over to grab water, kind of cutting through the huddle. Keeping eyes on what Coach Tammy is saying, but right now I don't think it's much of what Coach has for him. It's just going to take a little bit of heart and determination to stick a pass, run the offense, and take a big, healthy cut at a ball, find some court on the other side.
Well, we said Long has had a nice night. Here's some of what she's been able to put together here and throw at the Knights. Coming up, a couple of strong hits from the left side, then off the hands. Putting that one away. And that one might have been her favorite of all, as she had a one-on-one block and got Henderson. You can see her teammates, you know, they obviously know who's a key hitter on the other team, and that one was extra special. And they're out of rotation again. This is something you don't see all that often anymore, but 3 times tonight it's happened.
Tim Borgert recognizing he's got a miss there. It's going to be a replay.
Oh, you're right. So it stays at 11-5. Palmer just too long with that one. She was convinced it was in, but Jesuits now with a 12-5 lead as they get the next point anyway. Henderson able to put it away for the Knights as they get the side out. You're going to need to start chipping away here soon.
Got a
We're going to keep the 5-1 going, and into the game comes Carroll as a left side now. Excuse me, 6-2, but still Carroll in on the left, not on the right.
Johnson for Long. Carroll able to stay with it. And put away there in the middle by Van Heel. And it's 12-7.
Hanging around, and eventually Van Heel ends the rally.
Johnson giving it to Long, and she scores it.
Sin Henderson lost her. Long definitely needs to be accounted for. We'll put it that way. You got to make sure you know where she is. Sin Henderson making sure that the middle wasn't going to get that point, but Long taking care of it.
Revere into serve here. Fritz will come back right side with it. Sin Henderson getting a swing there. Now Jesuits, and that'll drop in as the Knights on the collision course there had to pull up or run full speed into each other.
Yeah, a big swing from Jesuits takes the home court bounce off the tape and over. A lot of miscommunication there from St. Michael.
Push deep and just too long there as Wayzata. They weren't really in a position to do anything with that. They were more just turning and hoping at that point.
Scott Jackson kind of riding Jesuits a little bit there. She knew she was out of position.
To the outside for Carroll, punches it cross court. Long is too strong with that one.
Kruschke gets her body to the line like she's supposed to, recognizing that ball is just going to be deep, and does a really nice job letting it go. A little bit of miscommunication at the table again. Entering the game is Paige Home.
Home to serve, her team down 15-8 and down 2-0. Johnson for Kate Long, and she'll put another one away.
If it ain't broke. Take another look at this swing. Nice ball off the net from Johnson. Long. Henderson in an okay place to play it, just doesn't quite finish the defensive move to the floor.
And that serve too strong. So not able to get any kind of run going there. 16-9. And Sin Henderson will serve now for the Knights. And she returns the favor. Not what they needed there.
Not real clean volleyball down the stretch here from either side, but Wayzata's built itself an 8-point lead and can kind of hold on. We'll see here if Seas is able to put some service pressure on the Knights.
Oh, off the net, but nice job to get to it by Carroll. And then a block. Emke and Helmick were there.
Kristosik does everything she can, but there she's fighting in the shade right there. That block is well formed, well across, and she doesn't have a chance.
Carroll across with it and blocked again. Knight stuck with it though. And a great scramble here, and Seas will get it over. Carroll from the right side, off the block and good. Great effort both ways there.
Layout by Helmick, and as she gets up, she kind of had the look of, wait a minute, we're up 19-9 or 18-9. That's not something we need to be doing at this point, but that's the type of effort that gets you to the Xcel Energy Center, and she's going to get after into the next ball here.
Palmer the serve now for STMA. Johnson giving it to Helmick, but it's dug up. Michaela Henderson will change of pace. Back for Helmick, and she'll tip. Johnson going to come to Jesuits this time, and got a lot on that one, but Palmer digs it. And then wide is Lamont with a try there.
Lamont, I like the fact she's still swinging late. That's an out-of-system ball. They hang a 2-ball. She's looking for hands. Just misses.
Vogel to serve now for Wayzata, up 19-10. Michaela Henderson firing. Vogel, though, fights it off. Here's Jesuits, had it blocked. She'll get another opportunity here, rolling it deep middle. And too long with that one is Christozic. So a little bit of an unforced hitting error really there. They didn't have a lot of blocking pressure, but it'll be out 20-10 Trojans. Well, last year, Wayzata into a section final against really a juggernaut Champlain Park team. But, you know, this for them last year, it didn't turn out the way they wanted. They got swept. But you have to think that experience kind of propelled them into being ready for this kind of year and this kind of a playoff run.
Yeah, when you get beat in a section final and there's very few seniors on your team, you get real excited about the opportunity to come back the next year and earn some redemption. They didn't get a chance to earn it against Champlain Park as this St. Michael team beat them in the semifinal 2 days ago. But no matter how you punch your ticket to the X, you'll take it. They're 5 points away from doing just that. Scott Jackson looking for his 6th state tournament appearance in 21 seasons. And he's been section to section. He's always been in one of the toughest sections in the state, whether it be against Champlain here or years where he had to get past Sarah Wilhiten, Eden Prairie, or a Hopkins team. He's never had an easy route to the state tournament, and his team looking ahead a little bit maybe here as that serve goes just long.
Krushke will serve. Johnson to Jesuits. That one off the block. Now Johnson will give it to Helmick right side, and that one is good. Score the point for Helmick and the Trojans. They're up by 10 now in 21-11. 4 points away from state. And that one's going to be too long from Christozic, and the Knights not looking like they're going to be able to scramble back into this one. They've tightened up, it feels like, down the stretch and making more kind of uncharacteristic errors.
Coach Cornelius doing the right thing here, getting her seniors off the bench, getting them some time here in their last match as they are 3 points away from the end of the season.
And it's an ace for Helmick.
Wayzata 2 points away. The student section can feel it. The bench can feel it. Players trying to stay calm 1 point at a time. As you see Helmick, been waiting her turn for years, knows she's 2 points away.
Outside, Henderson tipping Helmick. A great effort to get there. Here's a chance, and it'll be a point for the Trojans. As the big swing by Jesuits, and the dig attempt goes wide. Here we go, match point chance for Wayzata. Their students up, their parents up. Helmick serving here for the win. Outside to Henderson, off the block, and that's going to be too far for Vogel to get it. Maybe, no, maybe not. They retrieve it. The tip, and that one will drop in. The Knights stay alive.
Van Heel, one touch at a time, lives to fight another point, and back into the game comes Fritz.
Fritz to serve. Wayzata still 1 point away from securing a section title. Jesuits, too long. They're asking for a touch, but no.
Jesuits looking for hands and just missed them. I don't know if Scott Jackson thinks there actually was a touch or he's just excited for the opportunity.
Fritz with the serve. Johnson to Jesuits, off hands here. Knights get there. And the tip attempt falls short, and there it is. Wayzata secures a section championship with a sweep over St. Michael Albertville.
Congratulations to the Wayzata Trojans as they go back to the state tournament for the first time in a decade, 2010 being the last time they were there. Great battle, good finish from them. They played clean, they played fast, and left no doubt down the stretch. 25-13 in set 3. One of those tough moments right now as you can look at the St. Michael section, just bummed this wasn't their year. Scott Jackson's squad definitely end-to-end the section favorite. They do a great job holding seed and winning this section title.
And they're going to have a great opportunity to do some things at state, I would think, as well, with as many good teams as they've played and beaten this year. And as you said, maybe somebody did them a little favor taking Northfield out, because that's been the one team that really gave them trouble with a couple of wins in tournaments over the Trojans. So we'll take a timeout. We'll see some of the trophy presentation, and then after that we will talk with a couple of happy Trojans, no doubt. Wayzata sweeping St. Michael Albertville to take the Section 5 3A title. We'll be right back to Osseo.
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back to Osseo High School. St. Michael Albertville just receiving their section runner-up medals and team trophy. So congratulations to the Knights on a fantastic year, and they'll end up one win short of state, but a great season for them. And now the medal ceremony for Wayzata, starting with Avery Seas. And the seniors on this Trojan squad, it's kind of easy to forget now, but they really kind of took their lumps as sophomores. It wasn't all smooth sailing in the program, and they kind of had to learn on the fly and be thrown in maybe when they were a little young, and have built themselves into a very strong team, a good balanced team as well. They got a lot of weapons. They've shown by playing, really most of the best teams around that they are clearly one of the best teams in the state. And as Andy said, I think have a pretty good shot at being the number 2 seed for the state tournament. We'll know that for sure, of course, over the weekend, but have acquitted themselves well. They came out, and what you really want is your team to play, kind of its best on the biggest stage, and I thought they really did that here tonight. This St. Michael Albertville team is a good team, a strong team, not an easy team to sweep, and Wayzata was able to do that here tonight. Excellent effort. They just kind of never let them really back into it. I think that the end of the second set was such a key, and Wayzata was able to pull it out. The Knights had 1 or maybe even 2 set point chances of their own in that second set, but Wayzata able to get it done. They were going to give them the trophy. We said, hey, hang on here. We've got our managers need to get their medals as well. And then they'll bring the captains out to claim that championship trophy. Barb Bizey there to present it for Wayzata. They've known since day one of practice this year that this was a possibility, that if they played well, they could do this. But, it doesn't mean it's easy to do against a tough section field. And the final 4 teams, we said the other night, are all pretty good quality teams. And so Wayzata able to battle their way through and claim a section championship trophy. We will take a timeout. We will come back to hear from the Trojans in just a moment. Again, it's Wayzata sweeping St. Michael Albertville here in the Section 5 3A championship.
In a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Give your town a reason to celebrate, because every Goodwill item you bring home brings job training and more to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home.
What a great season for the Wayzata Trojans, and it's going to continue at the XL Center next week as they sweep St. Michael Albertville to win the Section 5 championship. We're joined by a couple of their captains, starting with setter Olivia Johnson. And your team came out, I thought, and played just a fantastic match here tonight. How great does it feel to be a section champ now?
Oh, it feels amazing. We worked so hard for this, and last year after losing it and then coming back, bouncing back this year just feels amazing. I'm so happy to be a part of this team and all we have accomplished.
Yeah, we talked about it to you girls earlier this season that, earlier in your varsity career, there were some losses along the way. Does that make it extra special to have had to battle through that?
Yeah, definitely. We've gone through a lot together, and I'm so glad that our senior year we're finally making it to state, and I'm just so happy to be a part of this program and team. So,
early in the semifinals, your team was a little bit sluggish. Tonight, though, it seemed like right from the get-go you were ready. What was kind of the difference?
We came out with fire, and we didn't want to start like we did against Osseo because we didn't win the first set, and so we knew we had to come out with fire, and then we just took the lead, and so, yeah.
You've played a lot of the best teams in the state and have built a great record against them. What do you think your chances now heading into the X?
I think we have really good chances. We beat a lot of the teams, really top, strong teams, and so if we play our game, we should be good, so.
All right, congratulations. Go celebrate the win.
Thank you.
And Kate Long, you came through time after time here tonight. How fun was it to deliver like you did?
It's pretty great. I love playing on this team because there are so many amazing hitters. It's nice to have some single block looks. Nobody really knows who's going to get set in any moment, so it's just great to be a part.
I know you'd played this team a couple times earlier in the season. What was the difference tonight that you guys were able to get the sweep?
Tonight we really wanted to start out strong because, as Liv said, we didn't start out very strong against Osseo. This gym brings back a lot of memories. I think we all had a really great talk, and we were so hyped up about this game. We just wanted to leave the court with no regrets.
Late in the match, we showed a little bit of the highlights from last year's section final. Obviously, that Champlain Park team was really good. But how much did being in that match, kind of prepare you girls to make this run this year?
I mean, that match was definitely in a lot of people's minds last night. I know it was in mine. I was thinking about it a lot. And being back in this gym brought back a ton of memories, but I think it really helped motivate us to know what our goals were and what we had to do to win tonight.
What will it take to get 3 more wins for this team? What's the most important thing you have to do next week?
The most important thing is, as a team, staying together, playing aggressively from the get-go, supporting each other, and just playing our hardest, no regrets.
All right, Kate, thanks so much for joining us. Great job here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Kate Long and the Wayzata Trojans as they win this Section 5 championship over St. Michael Albertville, and again headed to the State 3A tournament where they'll be one of the favorites, no doubt, next week in St. Paul. Hope you've enjoyed this one. For Andy Gugesberg and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. That'll do it from Osseo High School. It's Wayzata headed to State. All right, thank you.